Greetings everybody, this is Leviathan and I'm here today to bring you an update highlight from the PTR for patch 2.6.1. We're still working on Crusader things and today it's going to be Blessed Shield, which is a variant that you can run in the Akkhan setup. As most of you know who've been paying attention, the Akkhan set got an update in patch 2.6.1 to be much better than it used to be, and that's mainly through the 6-piece set bonus, where now we have an increase in our damage that we deal while an Akkhan's champion. That's up to 900%, and they also gave us a great damage reduction now, 50% less damage taken. So that, combined with some of the other updates that they've given us, makes it so that Crusaders are going to be very strong in their Akkhan set, and Blessed Shield is no exception. Again, remember, of course, it is PTR, so some of these things may change. Numbers could go up or down by the time it gets to live, so take it all with a grain of salt. But of course, the Gyrfalcon's Foote, one of the mainstays for Blessed Shield, got an update in this patch. The legendary power here removes the resource cost of Blessed Shield and increases its damage by a range of 400 to 500%. Of course, on a primal there, you're going to get 500%. Next up, the Jekangbord also received an update. Its legendary power reads, Blessed Shield ricochets to 6 additional enemies, and now that's static before it used to range, but you will always get 6 additional enemies, and it has its damage increased by a range of 300 to 400%. So you can tell between just these two items, that's quite the multiplier for your Blessed Shield, so it's going to be doing crazy damage. And then of course you have the Akkhan's Manacles, bracers for this setup, where the Blessed Shield damage is increased by a range of 400 to 500% for the first enemy that you hit. So it's very important that you have great targeting while you're using this setup. And then last but not least, you have the Akkhan's Leniency, which you put in your cube, and each enemy hit by your Blessed Shield increases the damage of your Blessed Shield by 20% for 3 seconds. So it's sort of a stack mechanic, where as your Blessed Shield's bouncing around to a bunch of enemies, you're gaining a multiplier, and that's just going to allow your Blessed Shield damage to go insane into the atmosphere all over the world and then come back. But in any case, I have a video for you here of myself doing a Greater Rift 101. I did this last night, just testing some things out, so you get a sense of how it plays in high-level Greater Rifts. Right now, this is on hardcore, by the way. I have the highest mark here on hardcore, and on the softcore side of things, I believe the highest currently on PTR is a 110 for Blessed Shield. So you can see it's going to directly compete with the Blessed Hammer, Seeker of the Light stuff that we're all used to for Crusaders these days. It's really exciting to have multiple specs that should be able to push high for Crusaders. The general gameplay, as you can see here, of course, is to keep Akkhan's champion up 100% of the time, and that means you're going to have 55 to 56% CDR on your gear in order to achieve that, mixed with the set bonuses that you have. And then from there, you're really just trying to get good positioning on these packs so that you can make sure, like I said, with your Akkhan's Manacles, be attacking that first target for that bonus damage. There's also a convention of elements within this, so that's going to make it where you need to kind of get all your buffs going during the holy portion. I'm using Shattered Shield, I believe, which is the rune on Blessed Shield that's holy, and it allows your shield to kind of bounce a bunch more times, therefore increasing the amount of stacks that you're going to get from your Akkhan's Leniency. So it sort of all works together, where if there's nice density, you're actually going to have a really great damage and really great single target damage, especially when that holy COE comes around, and especially once you're able to just go ham. The law that we're taking is the Law of Valor with critical, and again, we activate that right when your holy part of Convention Elements is coming up, just for some damage boost. Of course, you have a iron skin, steel skin, just for that extended duration of your iron skin. That's going to give you a nice damage reduction. And the reason that this can go so high, that this build can go so high, is that you can actually get quite a few sources of damage reduction in here. So you're using a Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose, the Endless Walk set. Of course, when you're moving around, you get a damage reduction. When you can hopefully stand still, especially during that holy rotation, then you'll be getting the damage increase. You have a Unity in the cube, so of course with the combination in your follower, with the follower can't die token and their own Unity, that's another 50% damage reduction. You also have an Aquila Cuirass in your cube because you don't use any resource in this build, so you always have that 50% damage reduction active. So you can see there's quite a few damage reduction sources there, and so it makes you nice and hardy. You can still see we take plenty of damage, so it is a positioning thing. You want to stay at range if you can. Utilize the Oculus ring circles that your follower will grant you and things like that. But of course, you're using the Prophet rune on Akkhan's champion, so you have a cheat death there. And then, especially if you're on the hardcore side of things, you're still taking your indestructible passive for another source of cheating death. So Crusaders are lucky in that we get to live twice before we actually die, which helps a lot when you're taking some damage here. But pretty much that's all I've got for you in terms of the rundown. You know, I'll do a full build guide on this, assuming that whatever we see here makes it out of PTR. Could be that things get adjusted a little bit. It is performing very well. I'm hoping that it sticks. I really am happy that this is a build that we can go with that rivals Blessed Hammer. We'll see. You know, I'll keep an eye on it, and then if it does make it out of PTR, if it looks like we're late into PTR and it's going to work, we'll go ahead and do a build guide for you. Everything fleshed out, all the gem choices, cube, etc., gearing stats. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and duck out of here and let you enjoy the rest of this clear. Feel free to leave me some comments if you have any questions or concerns or things that you have been experimenting with on Crusader and that you're curious about or that you want to enlighten me about. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. I'm sure I'll have plenty more for you guys before this PTR is over. So enjoy. Adios.